Ooh, scary music. Anyway, this is Gofro no Yabu Episode 2, otherwise known as Nemesis 3, The Eve of Destruction. This is an MSX game, so let's just get right into it as soon as this is finished. Alright, so there's a lot to talk about with this game. And as I said at the end of the previous game, I would say this is the hardest of the 3 games I'm doing. Anyway, so in this game kind of ties into the plotline of the other MSX games. So if you've seen my Nemesis 2 run from last month, September, you probably have a somewhat of an idea of how this goes. So in this game, James Burton, who was the previous pilot of the Vic Viper and the Battalion, is dead. And you control his son, David Burton, and you are piloting the Vixen, which once again is basically just the same as the Vic Viper ship. And it kind of starts out as your standard run-of-the-mill war against the Bacterians, but it's going to take a very quick turn, it's going to take a very abrupt turn very quickly. So this first stage presents itself like stage 1 from Gradius 2. You'll notice that Gofro no Yabu Episode 2 means this is supposed to be kind of like a sequel to Gradius 2 Arcade, which also has the subtitle Gofro no Yabu. That being said, this is not a port of Gradius 2 on the MSX. This is an entirely original game. It does share some things in common with it, but very few. And as for the type I'm playing with, I'm just choosing this type because the regular laser is way better than the ripple laser, and the photon missile pierces enemies. Pretty sure this is the only game in which I actually regularly use the photon missile. So I'm already fully powered up. So I'll take a quick moment to mention that this game has an absolutely banger soundtrack. It has one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Especially for the fact that it's an MSX game with the SEC chip. So definitely give its entire soundtrack a listen. I should also mention this is set exactly 200 years after the events of, I think, Salamander MSX. I don't remember if it's Salamander or Nemesis 2 that this is set after. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Salamander came after Nemesis 2. Sorry, I have to remind myself of all the Gradius lore. Okay, here is the Geezer Butler, the first boss, because all the bosses in this game are named after famous bands for some reason. It's basically just the Phoenix from Gradius 2. Except most of the bosses in this game can be destroyed pretty quickly. Alright, so now we have stage 2, which is yet another plant stage. Some interesting mechanics here. I should also mention that the emulator I'm using, Blue MSX, doesn't have like a proper auto-fire function, so I'm just mashing my spacebar this entire run. These plant bolts are annoying because you have to be like right at their tips in order to actually destroy them. But now we're going to get into one of the first unique features of this game. Okay, it wasn't there. So each stage, starting from stage 2, has a hidden location. There are 2 different locations in the level usually where it can be, and the game just randomly selects one. And you can find hidden power-ups in these locations, similar to Nemesis 2. So here I get to the Twinkle laser, which is just slightly more powerful than the regular laser. I'll get another laser upgrade here in just a moment, or in the next stage. This game is about as cryptic as Salamander on the MSX, but without all of the BS that game has. It's definitely a bit more approachable than Nemesis 2 is. And those aren't the only secrets in this game. As you can tell by the run description, I'm going to be going for the good ending this run. And there are some very specific requirements you need to meet in order to actually get that versus the bad ending. Alright. So those little orbs just kind of blossom into full-blown plants. Sometimes you can destroy the orbs before they blossom, but it's pretty rare. There we go. I actually got to do it. And then this boss is Hans Naughty. I actually don't know anything about any of the bands, so forgive me on some of my pronunciation. It's kind of just Big Eye from Gradius 2, but you have a little bit more mobility. And again, even though the lasers are pretty powerful, you actually want to kind of rapid fire with them. You kind of want to mash the fire button to get a more consistent stream of fire. So ignore this black hole at the start of the stage. Hopefully that doesn't come into play. So if you've ever played the Gradius fan game, Garudius 95, this is literally the inspiration for Stage 8 of that game. And when I say the inspiration, I mean it's basically a one-for-one copy. I forgot to mention minor flashing lights warning there. It's over now, so you don't have to worry about that. So those little wavy zones there are where the planet's gravity will actually try to pull you in towards the surface. So you want to try to avoid those as much as possible, and I just lost my force field, which is really, really bad here. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get my force field back. So basically right here, you just kind of have to pick a side and commit to it. And you don't want to switch sides, because then you just get thrown off and crash into the wall. This stage is honestly pretty difficult to get through if you don't, like, have the strats down. You don't kind of understand how the physics work. Okay. That did not go as planned, but I made it through still. This is a terrible stage to die in. And then this part sucks because those, like, brighter pink enemies, if they touch your ship, they latch onto it and make it impossible to fire. And I'm pretty sure the only way to get them off is to die. And then here we have some... Did I just despawn one of those cannons? I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. I didn't know you could despawn the cannons there. But yeah, there's just some cannons that shoot out those little bombs. Alright, I really want to have 4 speed-ups. Because this next section is almost impossible to get through without 4 speed-ups. So the boss of this stage, if you want to call it that, is just a bunch of these black holes. They all try to suck you in, and their pull is actually pretty strong. And if you get pulled into any of them, it sends you back to the beginning of the level. So you really don't want that to happen. And that one up there that's not animating, that one is fake. So I'm actually going to go into it. If the game will allow me to. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. You can get a hidden power-up from that. But now I'm just 1 extra power-up behind. There is an item radar in this game that you can turn on using a hidden code, but I don't really want to have to turn that on, but I might have to, because now I usually stop after getting my 3rd hidden weapon, but I'm not going to know where to look for the next hidden weapon, so... Hopefully you guys don't mind me cheating if I feel the need to. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. So right now, the Bacterians are entering a time warp, and they're going back in time to the birth of James Burton, who later became, who, if you remember, was the former pilot of the Vic Viper and later became Lars the 18th. And they're basically going to try to murder him as a baby to, you know, cause a butterfly effect where history changes and all that. So now we're traveling back in time in order to try to stop them from doing that. And, of course, this is the game's excuse to throw in a boss rush. So here's Tetran. It behaves similarly to how it does in Gradius 2, except it's a lot more weak. And now we have two bosses from Nemesis 2, starting with Abaddon. So in Nemesis 2, this is the worst boss in the game. In this game, it's a little bit easier, because it moves a lot slower and it takes less damage. And I'm already screwed. I did not do that properly. So I can recover this, it's just gonna be hard. I did not do that starting section properly. Alright, please give me one more at least. Alright, I should be able to do this. It's just gonna take forever. Like I said, this boss is supposed to be easier in this game than in Nemesis 2. I just kind of goofed. I forgot what I was supposed to do. And now it's dead. So one of the 4 bosses can contain the next hidden power-up, but which one it is random. So I just kind of have to see which one takes longer to explode than the rest. Here's Misfit. Again, it's a little bit easier than before. Okay, so it wasn't that, so it's going to be the final boss, which, of course, is Big Core. We haven't seen a Big Core all day. So it's about time we saw one. Alright, so this boss is going to contain the hidden weapon. And to get it, you have to enter the barriers. So this is just yet another laser upgrade. The one I really want is the next one, which is the up laser. So at this point, we've arrived 6 months too late from our destination, and now the Bacterian have managed to capture 6 planets, and James is being held prisoner. So our goal from here is to find clues that can help us find James. And that's kind of the gimmick for the next few stages. And now I have to try to claw my way back to full power. Thankfully, this stage gives a lot of power-ups. Alright. Is it okay with you guys if I turn on the item radar? Because it'll make visual... Because, like, it's not really cheating, per se. I just don't normally have to use it, but since I'm 1 weapon upgrade behind it, I don't know where to find another one. Anyways, my stage. That's really all I have to say. Alright, so I'm gonna pause the game and then type in F-I-N-D, enter, and then hopefully that should work. So if that worked, then hidden weapons will now show up as like a small blue square that I can touch. I don't know if I've passed it yet. I don't think I have. So the annoying thing about the Moais is that you actually can't destroy them the first time they open their mouths. You have to wait the second time. And now in this section, they kind of behave like red Moais. Yeah, I think I might have already missed it. I either missed the upgrade or I didn't enter the code right. Thankfully, missiles can one-shot the Moais. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the hidden weapon here. But that's not the only... that's not the only secret this stage holds. Because in addition to hidden weapons, in the next few stages, remember, we need to find clues that can help us track where infant James Burton is. And the clues are specifically going to be the 3 map pieces. And I kind of missed a location where I'm supposed to check for one, but that's okay because it might just be here. Okay, thank goodness it was there. If that map piece wasn't there, I would have actually had to replay this stage later. So I don't think I entered the item radar properly, but it's fine. I can just play the game without the up laser. So we need to find 3 map pieces. They are hidden in stages 5, 7, and 8. This is an MSX game, and this is how MSX scrolling is. There are patches that you can use to get smoother scrolling, but I wanted to give you the true experience. Also, these Moais fire lasers. So now we have the Armored Giant. Very simple for our Moai boss. Finding it a little tougher to deal with because I don't have the up laser. Yeah, Gradius does have lore, it's just not relevant for most games in the series. It's only really relevant in the MSX games and in Gradius Rebirth. Okay, so this is the laser I meant to upgrade to earlier. This is the screw laser. So stage 6 is sort of a needle stage, I guess. I don't quite understand what the point of this planet is, other than just needles, but I guess this is a theme for a stage. Right. There is the possibility I can find a hidden weapon here, which will allow me to get caught up. Might be one of these. Okay, hitboxes. Maybe I shouldn't have tried that. Okay. This run is not going as expected. Well, it's random depending on what you're doing in the playthrough. Okay, this is not going the way I wanted it to. This is a tough stage to recover in because it does not give you that many power-up opportunities. And I usually just get through here without dying, so I'm actually not entirely sure what to do. Okay, let's actually dodge the hailstorm of needles this time. I might just have to play the game without the up laser, which honestly isn't the worst thing. Okay, so we're not going to go in there. Alright, so is it that one that I'm supposed to look in? You know what? I'm just not even going to bother. I normally have full power for this part. Again, I normally have full power for that part. Does look like I can get some power-ups after this, and I'm about to game over, unfortunately. I don't know of any safeguards in place to get back to full power if I end up like in an undesirable situation, so this may be the end of the road. Yeah. So I'll throw a few more attempts at this checkpoint, but if I can't get past this, then we might end up mercy killing this, because I'm already this deep into it. I'll have another shot for redemption eventually. And I meant to activate the missile. Okay, I'm just gonna die. So I'll have to do this another time, because I want to get a proper 1cc of this. This is the game I was most worried about. This is what I get for being greedy. Although really it's the game's fault, because it should have let me got the hidden weapon in stage 3. So I'll just do what every alpha gamer does and just blame the game. Throw a couple more attempts at this. I don't know how... I don't really think we have time for me to restart the game straight up, so... Welcome to Gradius Syndrome, everyone. I think you can recover this, I'm just being bad. And also hitboxes. But yeah, this seems doable. Alright, let's... I can throw like a few more attempts at this. I don't know how much longer I can keep going before I risk, like, I know I managed to pull us a little bit ahead of schedule, but I don't know how much longer I can. See, that's the thing, is that that needle was nowhere near me. And I still died. So if anybody ever wanted to give you a clear-cut example of what Gradius Syndrome is, this is it. But it's just... Okay. Yeah, not having auto-fire also doesn't help. farthest we've made it so far. But that's not saying much. Alright. Can anybody check the schedule to see how we're doing so that I know how long I have before we should probably consider mercy killing this? I can't check the schedule myself, so... If I somehow make it past this stage, I could, in theory, still make that, but that's a big if. I think we might just have to call it, because I don't see myself getting past this. And I don't know of any, like, full power cheats I can use. I don't even know if this game has any. Wait, we're getting somewhere. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't realize that the pellets actually formed, like, ground from these things. I'm sorry, I think I'm just gonna have to call it. I don't think there's a way to get past this. Actually, let me look up something real quick. Oh. And it's back to the stage, so... Yeah, sorry about that. We'll get him another time. But that's just... That's an example of what... That's an example of what Gradius does to you, you know? Sometimes you just gotta accept defeat. So, is there anything I can do that we can use to end this on somewhat of a high note? Yeah, I think we should just cut, honestly.